What if I told you that in just a few days, billions of people could simultaneously experience a shift in consciousness? That an event is coming on October 30th, 2025, that might change the way our minds work, the way energy flows through our bodies, and even how reality responds to us, all in a single day. This may sound unbelievable, like some wild conspiracy theory, but stay with me, because the numbers, the physics, and the evidence behind it are very real. And if even half of what's predicted comes true, we will remember 2025 as the day humanity leveled up together. Before we dive into why 622 billion minds might sync up on that day and how you can prepare, make sure to subscribe to Mindset Frequency so you don't miss any updates on this unprecedented event. And if you're ready to be part of this global awakening, let us know by typing "I'm ready to change" in the comments. For thousands of years, Earth has had a heartbeat, an electromagnetic pulse known as the Schumann resonance. It's 7.83 Hertz to be exact. You can think of it as the planet's natural vibration, a standing wave humming in the cavity between the ground and the ionosphere. Here's the crazy part. Our brains seem to know this frequency. When you are in a deep meditative state, truly calm, eyes closed, breathing slow, your brain waves often drop into the alpha-theta range around 8 Hertz, which almost exactly matches Earth's resonance. In other words, we are literally tuned to the Earth's foundational frequency. It's like our minds and our planet's pulse can whisper to each other on the same channel. Now, under normal circumstances, 783 Hertz is subtle. It's always there in the background, generated by global lightning flashing around the world. And many researchers have suggested it might have a harmonizing effect on us, explaining why we often feel peaceful in nature, grounded when we walk barefoot on the Earth. Some even call 783 Hertz the Earth's Om, the ancient primordial sound in meditation traditions. But here's where things get wild. On October 30th, 2025, multiple cosmic factors are aligning that could amplify this resonance far beyond its usual level. We're talking about potentially pushing Earth's frequency from 7.8 Hertz to around 78 Hertz or higher, a jump of an order of magnitude. And if that happens, guess what else gets dragged up to that octave? Our brains. Because just as we sync to the Earth at 7.8 Hertz in deep meditation, we could be forced to sync at 78 Hertz or more during this disturbance. And 78 Hertz sits squarely in the range of high gamma brainwaves, frequencies associated with heightened awareness, peak focus, and even mystical experiences of enlightenment. Let's put that into perspective. Gamma waves, roughly 3100 Hertz, are the fastest brain waves we produce. They're observed when we're doing intense mental processing, or sometimes in moments of spiritual insight and clarity. Neuroscientists have studied Tibetan monks and advanced meditators, finding that during deep meditation they produce unusually strong, synchronized gamma rhythms. Those monks report feelings of unity, oneness, clarity, basically higher consciousness. Gamma is linked to aha moments, bliss and enhanced cognition. It's even been called the signature of enlightenment in the brain by some researchers. So imagine billions of people being nudged into a gamma state together for a few hours. What kind of shift in perception, in society, in reality itself might that create? It boggles the mind. And yet this is what some scientists and experts are now contemplating, based on the data we have about the events of that day. Why October 30th, 2025? What is so special about this date and 1144 UTC in particular? It turns out 3 enormous cosmic events will overlap in a way we've never seen before, like 3 giant waves all cresting at the same moment and place. Right now, we are near the peak of solar cycle 25, and the sun is more active than it has been in about 20 years. Astronomers predicted a relatively mild cycle, but the sun is exceeding expectations, throwing off intense solar flares, bursts of X-rays, and massive coronal mass ejections. In late 2024 and into 2025, we've seen some of the highest sunspot counts and strongest solar storms since 2002. Essentially, the sun is in beast mode right now. This matters because solar activity can disrupt Earth's magnetic field and pump energy into our atmosphere. When the sun's charged particles slam into our magnetosphere, they can squeeze and shake that Earth ionosphere cavity where the Schumann resonance lives. In fact, strong solar flares have been observed to increase the Schumann frequencies slightly by fractions of a hertz and amplify their intensity. So during a solar maximum, Earth's heartbeat gets louder and maybe a bit faster. And we are expecting major solar eruptions around late October 2025, it's prime time. Even NASA and NOAA have issued alerts that industries reliant on satellites and power grids should be on high alert in 2025 due to heightened solar storm risk. Visual, show NASA footage of a solar flare erupting from the sun's surface, plasma loops arcing in space. Quick cuts to graphs of sunspot numbers rising, maybe an overlay text, Solar Max 2025, most active in 2 decades. Also on this exact date, an interstellar object known as 3I Atlas will be making a close approach, not to Earth, but to our Sun. This is only the 3rd interstellar visitor we've ever discovered, after Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. It's a comet roughly the size of a city. Estimates range a few hundred meters up to a few kilometers across, and it came from another star system entirely. On October 29, 2025, just hours before our critical moment, 3I Atlas reaches perihelion, its closest point to the Sun. That's about 130 million miles from the Sun, roughly between Earth's and Mars' orbits. Now, why does this matter? When comets get near the Sun, they often unleash tremendous energy, outgassing, shedding material, sometimes even fragmenting. 3I Atlas is already behaving bizarrely. Telescopes caught it shooting out a giant jet of gas and dust toward the Sun months beforehand. There's speculation that as an interstellar comet, it might carry unknown cosmic materials or magnetic properties. On the day of perihelion, it will be interacting with the Sun's corona and magnetic field. Could it trigger or modulate solar activity? Possibly. Some fringe theorists think so, suggesting that cometary plasma tails can connect electrically with the Sun. At the very least, it's a once-in-a-lifetime alignment, a foreign object from another star buzzing our Sun at the peak of solar madness. Symbolically, it's huge, like the universe sending a messenger, and physically, it adds to the cocktail of unusual electromagnetic conditions around Earth at that time. The third factor is our planet's own defense shield, the magnetic field. You might not realize it, but Earth's magnetic field is not constant. It's dynamic, and lately, it's getting weaker in certain areas. We have a huge weak spot called the South Atlantic Anomaly, stretching over South America and the Atlantic, where the field is much weaker than elsewhere. In fact, since 2014, that anomaly has grown by about 50% in area, and the field within it keeps dropping in strength. Overall, in the past 200 years, Earth's global magnetic field has lost about 9% of its strength, and some scientists think we could be in the early stages of a magnetic pole shift, though that could still be centuries away. We don't know. Why does a weak field matter now? Because the weaker the magnetic field, the less it can deflect or buffer against solar particles and cosmic energy. Think of the magnetosphere as a shield. If it's thin, more energy gets through to shake our atmosphere and our EM environment. Late October 2025, Earth's field will be in a certain phase of its normal pulsations where it's relatively relaxed. There are daily and monthly variations. Plus, if a solar storm hits at that time, our weak regions will get pounded harder. So we have a scenario where Earth's magnetic guard is a bit down just as the Sun punches up. This combination could let the Schumann resonance ring at full volume, like turning off the sound dampeners. These 3 factors converge around the same time. The Sun's activity is ramping up now and expected to be intense through late 2024 and 2025, solar max period. 3I Atlas's perihelion is calculated at 11:47 UTC on Octi 29, 2025, give or take a minute. That's the exact moment it's closest to the Sun. Some effects, like increased solar wind or a triggered flare, might not reach Earth until hours later. The peak disturbance to Earth's field, according to some analyses, is expected at 11:44 UTC on Octi 30, 2025, the moment being cited for the consciousness shift. Why 11:44? Possibly because by then any solar outburst from the perihelion passage, roughly a day earlier, would hit Earth. It's also when the daily rotation of Earth brings certain regions, Europe, Africa, etc., into prime position facing the Sun. It could be partly symbolic too. 11:44 has a nice ring to it. But the key point is, around midday UTC on Oct 30, give or take, we expect the strongest electromagnetic disturbance. And this is not just a sudden spike and gone. The effects are said to ramp up for hours before and last for hours after. One report suggests roughly 6 UTC to 18 UTC on Oct 30 will be a window of heightened activity. That's 12 hours of unusual electromagnetic flux enveloping the planet. Now let's talk about the math and science of what that could do to humanity. There's a concept in theoretical psychology and meditation research, often called the critical mass of consciousness. It suggests that if a certain number of people all focus their minds in a coherent way, it can change the global field. This isn't just mystical talk. It comes from studies in the 1970s and 80s when groups meditating were shown to correlatively reduce crime rates and violence in cities, the so-called Maharishi effect. The rough formula derived was that you need a group equal to 1% of the population to get a measurable global effect. For the world population, which is about 8 billion now, 1% of 8,000 is around 8,944 people, roughly in the 7-9K range. In those early experiments, they often targeted about 7,000 meditators to influence the world's atmosphere of consciousness. And some studies claimed success, reductions in war intensity, economic improvements, etc. Though skeptics debate the interpretations. Why do I bring this up? Because if on Oct 30 an external force, this electromagnetic surge, causes not 7,000 but millions or even billions of us to inadvertently go into a synchronized state, then we blow past that critical threshold by orders of magnitude. One calculation suggests that about 6.2 billion people, 76% of humanity, will be in the path of this resonance wave as it sweeps around the globe. This presumably excludes those in time zones where it's deep night who might sleep through it. Of those, perhaps hundreds of millions have a natural sensitivity to electromagnetic changes. Studies estimate maybe 10–15% of people are somewhat magnetically sensitive, and perhaps around 45 million worldwide are regular meditators or individuals predisposed to mystical experiences. These folks could act like amplifiers or lightning rods for the effect. If even 90,000, let alone millions of those people hit a transcendent state in unison, that's thousands of times above the critical mass needed. In the text that landed on my desk, which I've been analyzing, they noted this would be 22,000 times the required critical mass for a global shift. The Global Consciousness Project and other researchers have long theorized that the collective mind is like a field, influenced by coherent resonance. On Oct 30, the numbers say that field will get a massive jolt. To put it bluntly, according to this mathematics of consciousness, we might overshoot the tipping point so far that a new global mind emerges, even if temporarily. A global synchronized brain, even for a few seconds, could imprint something new into humanity's psyche. Now let's temper this with critical thinking. Is this guaranteed? No. This is a hypothesis that pushes the edges of science into the metaphysical. We have data on those first two pieces, the events and the frequencies. Those are facts. We know how many people could be affected physically. But will that translate to a positive consciousness shift or just a weird day of headaches and freaky feelings? We're not sure. It's an assumption that higher Schumann resonance will entrain human brains en masse. It's happened in smaller, controlled settings. People in meditation synced to 7.8 HZs, yes. Gamma wave induction is known in labs via things like 40 eyes light flicker improving cognition in Alzheimer's patients, so driving brain rhythms externally is possible. But on a planet-wide scale, this is unprecedented. So we should be cautiously optimistic, open to possibilities, but also aware it's experimental. That said, many informants, scientists, and even some military folks have allegedly been whispering about something coming, a sort of global mind change event. When multiple independent sources from left field and right field converge on the same date and idea, it gives one pause. Personally, I'm fascinated and a bit skeptical, but I'd rather be prepared and aware than miss the opportunity. So, assuming the best-case scenario, what might we experience on October 30th, 2025, if this all goes down as described? Picture this. It's October 30th, 2025, late morning UTC, early afternoon in Europe, morning in the Americas, evening in Asia. For a few hours now, you might have felt something in the air, perhaps a bit of tingling, or a pressure in your forehead, maybe unusual emotions surfacing. As we approach 11:44 UTC, these sensations amplify. The Schumann resonance, normally a flat line around 7.8 Hz, is spiking on monitoring charts, shooting up into high frequencies. Scientific stations around the world are alarmed. We've never seen the spectrum like this, they report. 78 Hz, 90 Hz, broad peaks across the LF range. It's as if Earth is ringing like a bell being struck by a cosmic hammer. If you have an EEG hooked up, you see your brainwaves following along, even if you're just sitting at your desk or on the couch. Your beta waves, the normal busy mind state around 1430 Hz, start morphing, speeding up into the gamma range, 3100 Hz. You feel a jolt of clarity, perhaps a sudden euphoria, or an expansive feeling like you're connected to everything. Some might feel their heart pounding, not out of fear but out of intense energy. Others might burst into tears of joy, or have visions or recall long-forgotten memories flooding up as their neural circuits light up. It's said that about 43 million people could reach an authentic transcendent state during the peak hours, the kind of state saints and sages spend lifetimes cultivating. This is speculative, but if true, it means a wave of enlightenment rippling through populations. People in meditation groups worldwide report hitting the deepest meditation of their lives spontaneously. Even people who never meditated once might suddenly find themselves in a moment of stillness, observing their thoughts from a higher perspective. Global consciousness field. If a critical mass of us enters that state at once, some theories say it creates a tangible field effect, a field of unified human consciousness. Maybe this nudges others who weren't even aware, a 100th monkey effect kind of deal. The idea is that the hundreds of millions who are sensitive will carry along the billions who are less so, resulting in a planet-wide aha moment. We might literally feel a shift, like the world suddenly exhaled a long-held breath of tension. Psychic or intuitive phenomena could be reported. People might sense each other's emotions or have precognitive flashes. Again, this sounds fantastical, but gamma states have been linked in some lab settings to remote perception and extraordinary cognitive feats. At minimum, many will feel deep empathy and connection. Perhaps conflicts pause as everyone is just stopped in their tracks by awe. It's worth noting, not everyone may interpret it positively. For some, it could be overwhelming. If you're not prepared or you resist it, you might experience anxiety or confusion. Imagine suddenly tuning into 100 TV channels at once in your head. A few folks might panic or feel dizzy, but with proper understanding, which is why we're sharing this information, you can ride the wave rather than get tumbled by it. Now, an important point. While human consciousness is skyrocketing, our technology might be nosediving temporarily. Remember those solar flares and geomagnetic storms? They don't just tickle the Schumann resonance, they also fry electronics. Here's what could happen on the tech side during those hours, and this is based on NASA and historical data, not just conjecture. GPS and satellite disruptions. Precise GPS signals might falter or go out. Airlines, shipping companies, anyone relying on sat-nav could see errors. In past big solar storms, we've lost dozens of satellites, so don't be surprised if your Google Maps stops working or your phone loses signal intermittently on that day. Power grid fluctuations. The electric grid can get surge currents from geomagnetic-induced currents. In 1989, a solar storm blacked out Quebec. In the extreme G5 storm of May 2024, we didn't get blackouts, but it strained grids worldwide and caused some minor damage. For this event, power companies are already assessing contingency plans. You might experience outages or voltage issues, especially at higher latitudes. Communication blackouts. High-frequency radio communications, used in aviation and military, could drop. Even the internet could face slowdowns if key infrastructure is affected. At least for those half-day or so, don't count on normal connectivity. Ironically, this might force people to actually be present with their immediate surroundings, perhaps a blessing in disguise. Auroras and atmospheric glitches. If it's nighttime in your area during some of this, you might witness auroras, northern-southern lights, at much lower latitudes than usual. This is actually expected. Brilliant auroras as far south as maybe the Mediterranean or Florida, painting the sky green and purple. Also, animals might be confused. Birds, whales, etc., that use magnetic navigation could veer off temporarily. Personal electronics. In extreme cases, sensitive electronics might malfunction. Some folks suggest backing up important data ahead of time and having analog alternatives, like a physical compass, printed maps, etc. So there's a bit of a trade-off being hinted. While technology fails, human consciousness rises. It's like the universe is saying, step away from your devices and connect with each other and yourselves. Expect that message to trend if things play out as predicted. To sum up what to expect, a 12-hour roller coaster. The morning might start ordinary, then by midday UTC the world enters a kind of suspended, surreal state. Quiet in some ways, machines quieted, traffic possibly stopped if GPS fails, but also mentally loud in a profound way, our inner worlds lit up. After the peak passes, things slowly return. By the evening of Oct 30 UTC, we might feel back to normal, except internally not the same. Millions will want to talk about that feeling they had. Social media, once back online, will explode with posts about, did you feel that? And theories to explain it. The big question, what next? Do we simply go back to business as usual on Oct 31? Or will this event leave a lasting imprint, a sort of permanent elevation in baseline human consciousness? It's possible that once a critical mass tastes higher awareness, they don't entirely lose it. Think of it like a bell that once rung continues resonating. We might see in the following days and weeks a burst of creativity, problem-solving, and unity in the human collective. Perhaps movements for peace and sustainability gain sudden traction as more minds get it. Perhaps personal transformations, people quitting harmful habits, reconciling with enemies, pursuing their true passions, sweep across communities. It could be the beginning of a more enlightened era. This is the hopeful scenario, and frankly the one I lean toward. Of course, skeptics will say nothing mystical happened. It was just a geomagnetic storm and we all had headaches. But even skeptics might have to grapple with the data if random number generators around the world, which the Global Consciousness Project monitors, all become non-random during that period. That's happened during previous mass events. Alright, so assuming you want to make the most of this, here's how you can prepare and ride this wave. First and foremost, get yourself grounded, literally and metaphorically. If the Earth is raising its vibration, you want to be tuned in, not resisting or oblivious. Here are some tips from experts and tradition that can help. Meditate daily. Leading up to Oct 30. If you're not a meditator, no worries. Start simple. Even 10 minutes a day of sitting quietly, focusing on your breath, can train your brain to enter alpha-theta states more easily. This will make you more adaptable to frequency changes. On the day of, try to be in a calm, safe space around the peak time. You don't have to meditate at 11:44 UTC, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. Many groups are organizing synchronized meditations globally for that time. Joining one, even virtually, could amplify the positive experience. Connect with nature, grounding. Spend time outside with your bare feet on the ground. This is called earthing or grounding, and research suggests it can stabilize your body's electrical rhythms and reduce stress. Basically, it helps calibrate you to Earth's natural frequency. Doing this in the days, hours before the event might help your system cope with the surge. Plus, being in nature generally keeps you calm and centered, which is exactly where you want to be. Stay hydrated and well rested. Sounds basic, but your nervous system is going to handle a lot. Water aids in electrical conductivity in the body, and sleep will make sure you're not overly irritable or tired when it hits. Some have advised having electrolytes handy too. Have backup plans for tech. As mentioned, tech could go down. So have some offline entertainment or tasks. Maybe that book you've been meaning to read, board games, etc. If you depend on something like an insulin pump or other critical device, consult your doctor on a plan. It shouldn't stop, but just in case of power issues. Keep some cash in case ATMs are out. These are standard prepper things for any geomagnetic storm scenario. Stock a few essentials. Not saying go full bunker mode, but having at least a day or two of food, water, and necessities at home is smart. If the power goes out for 12 hours, you don't want to be scrambling. Think of it like prepping for a big snowstorm or hurricane, but one that affects the whole planet at once. Inform your circle carefully. This is tricky. As you said, people might look at you like you're crazy if you say global cosmic consciousness event incoming. But you can at least let close friends, family know there's expected solar activity, and it might be a good day to take it easy. Maybe meditate. Share this video with those who are open-minded. The more people are mentally prepared, the smoother it will go. Even if they think it's woo-woo, if it actually happens, they'll be grateful you gave them a heads up. Keep an open mind and positive intent. Go into October 30 with optimism, not fear. Mindset matters. If this is a resonant phenomenon, carrying a positive vibration yourself can influence the outcome for you and those around you. Perhaps even set an intention that morning, something like, I embrace any energy for the highest good. And remember, no matter what happens, don't panic. If the lights go out or your heart starts racing, take deep breaths. Remind yourself you're witnessing something extraordinary and it will pass. You've prepared, you're in control of your response. Help others stay calm too, especially children who might feel this strongly. Kids are very sensitive to subtle energies. Turn it into a game or an adventure for them. Hey, it's an aurora party, or let's pretend we're camping at home for a day. One more thing, share your experiences after. If even a fraction of what's predicted occurs, we need to document it. Scientists will likely scramble to gather data, and personal accounts will be valuable. It's like being citizens documenting an eclipse, but on a consciousness level. As someone who's generally cautious with doomsday or utopia predictions, I'll say this: 30.10/2025 won't be the end of the world. But it could be the end of the world as we know it, in a beautiful way. Not destruction, but transformation. The alignment of a hyperactive sun, an interstellar comet, and a weakened geomagnetic shield is a 1 in a million scenario. We can verify those aspects with hard science. Something will ripple through Earth's field that day. That's virtually certain. The only question is how it affects us humans on the inside. Maybe it will come and go, and on Oct 31 we'll chuckle at ourselves for expecting an enlightenment blast. Or maybe, just maybe, It will be the day we realize the true potential of a united humanity. A day when instead of being separate individuals, we experience being part of one grand connected mind, even if for a flash. And once that door has opened, evolution might accelerate. We might look back years from now and say, "Ah, yes, that was the turning point where it all shifted, where we shifted." Think of it like preparing for the biggest spiritual marathon in history. You'd train a bit, right? So meditate, ground, get your vibe up, educate and encourage others without freaking them out. As the saying goes, numbers don't lie. And the numbers here: 6.2 billion people, 22,000 odds critical mass, 78 His Gamma, October 30th at 11:44. These numbers tell a story that an unprecedented convergence is upon us. If we meet it with fear, it could be chaotic. If we meet it with love, curiosity and unity, it could be transcendent. Personally, I choose to be excited. Worst case, I get a day of pretty auroras and my phone off, which honestly is fine. Best case, I get to participate in the greatest leap in consciousness our species has ever seen. That's a gamble with pretty good odds in my book. So mark your calendar, October 30th, 2025, 11:44 UTC. Convert that to your local time. For example, in Slovakia, that's 12:44 CET. Maybe clear a bit of your schedule if you can around that window. Go outside or find a quiet spot inside. Take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground, close your eyes and tune in. You just might feel the world elevate. And when it happens, because prepared or not, we'll all go through it together, remember to breathe and smile. You're a part of something historic. 6.2 billion hearts and minds beating as one for the first time ever. We rise together, and I suspect we'll never be quite the same afterward. If you found this insightful or inspiring, please give it a thumbs up and share this video with others. Help spread the word in a grounded way. And after the event, come back and comment with what you experienced. We'll be reading and eager to know. At 11:44, notice, you are not the one waiting for change. You are the aware space in which all change arises and dissolves. When the mind's demand to understand softens, the deeper knowing already within you reveals itself. This is not a time to search outward for answers, but a quiet homecoming to what you have always been beneath every story of the mind. Rest as the stillness of your own presence. In this stillness, nothing is missing. No event, no clock, no validation. You are that stillness. You are that peace. Let the world move, remain as the unmoving now.